update coming to you live from Westlands in Nairobi, Kenya. This is TV47 Weekend. To topics this evening. Tonight, Azimio la Umoja won Kenya's planned political rally in Nairobi, slated for Monday, elicits mixed reactions.
Sisi tukuje hapo ati tushughulikie mahitaji yao. Wamezoea hiyo tabia, lakini we are telling them the end has come.
With a Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua vowing to deal firmly with opposition chief Raila Odinga's planned rallies. Also tonight, schools to go into the new term starting tomorrow after a long break.
Thanks to God the Almighty, we have successfully regained our school terms.
The calendar for primary and secondary schools is set to resume to normal. And in our special feature tonight, we take a closer look at how local institutions are shifting their training focus to better prepare students to meet international standards.
You can work not only in Kenya but also outside the country. So when people are in school, they know they will have somewhere else apart from Kenya.
And my clock says 9 p.m. exactly, just in time for TV47 Weekend. A very good evening to you and welcome to the broadcast. Catherine Simaloi is on the sign language docket. My name is Stanley Nyerungita. You can always talk to us on our socials below your screens. Now to top story. The planned political rally by Azimio la Umoja in Nairobi, Kenya on Monday has elicited mixed reactions from the Kenya Kwanza government's camp. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has vowed to deal firmly with Raila Odinga's plans as he plans to hold a big political rally at Kamukunji, Nairobi, to allegedly speak to a dossier on how the August 9th presidential polls were stolen.
Amen. Tough talk. And I can see people have started distracting, but I'm happy you're not the kind to be distracted.
Na mwenye kutuma na kuwapatia pesa anajulikana.
Threats. Wewe wachia foot soldiers wako hiyo maneno.
Haiwezekani kwamba Azimio ilikuwa imetengenezwa na mlengo mmoja wa siasa.
And warning against Azimio la Umoja's planned rally on Monday from President William Ruto's brigade.
Huyu William Ruto, huyu president wetu, one of my duties as deputy president is to protect his leadership. Na hakuna mtu ambaye atagusa yeye.
Nataka niwaeleze hawa whistleblowers. Tulikuwa na World Cup. Na World Cup imeisha. Pengine hapo mngepata kazi ya whistleblowing.
And we want to tell Mzee Raila Odinga, you started maandamano in 1990s when I was in secondary school. 97 ukasema you are rigged out. 2007 you are rigged out. 2013 you are rigged out. 2017 you are rigged out. 2022 you are 5 times, my friend.
Speaking during a Thanksgiving service in Kirinyaga County Sunday, the leaders asked President William Ruto not to be threatened by the planned opposition rallies and instead focus on development.
Na rais, tafadhali wachana na mambo ya mzee, tuko hapa. Kuanzia kesho tutapanga na hao vile tutakaa na hiyo watu. Na hiyo maneno ya kupambana na hao tunajua hiyo. So utatupatia nafasi wiki moja mbili tuweke hao kwa line, wakiingia line turudi kwa mambo ya kahawa na majani chai na maziwa.
If they were clever and their politicians wangekuwa wanajipanga. Wale werevu nimewaona wakipanga laini kwa ofisi ya Deputy President kwa sababu wanajua huko hakuna mahali wanaenda.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua vowed to firmly deal with Raila Odinga's plans, asking President William Ruto to leave everything in their hands as he concentrates on fulfilling his promises to Kenyans. Gachagua stated that Ruto's successful tour to the Nyanza region should not be confused as a willingness to have a handshake with Odinga.
Umeleta kisirani, umeuzia Uhuru uoga. Si alimuuzia? Sasa Uhuru akanunua uoga, akamuita kwa serikali kwa handshake. Aliharibu serikali yetu wangu haribu. Tukakwama. Unga ikatoka 90 shillings mpaka 230.
And in a church service at Christ the King Church in Bungoma, Governor Ken Lusaka asked Odinga to avoid politics that might impede development in the country.
Mambo ya maandamano, mambo ya nini, nafikiri is the wrong time. Ni kama wewe unataka msichana, ameolewa, ameenda, amepata mimba, anaanza kulipa maji, na bado unasema tunataka kuoa yeye.
Odinga unsuccessfully challenged Ruto's win at the Supreme Court after the August 2022 presidential election. But politicians allied to him have lately claimed the election was rigged, citing a report by an anonymous whistleblower.
Musikuwe na wasiwasi kabisa. Hii Kenya tutaiunganisha iwe kitu kimoja, tutaweka uchumi mahali pazuri, na mimi siwezi kuruhusu ati watu wachache waende kona pale, ati watupangie njama ya kututisha, ati wanatupangia sijui maandamano.
Mike Kagwongo, TV 47.
And still on some high-octane politics, Azimio Coalition Party leader Raila Odinga will tomorrow lead the opposition outfit for a public rally at the historic Kamukunji grounds. Odinga, who jets in from South Africa at noon, is expected to hold a series of stopover rallies from the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport through Jogoo Road to the city centre and finally Kamukunji. And as our senior political affairs reporter Paulo Kamau tells us, election rigging claims and the high cost of living will be high on the agenda.
In what will be a repeat of his homecoming tour in 2017 that was marred by chaos and police blockades, Azimio Coalition leader Raila Odinga puts President William Ruto to test on Monday when he jets back from South Africa at noon in what will be a busy day, according to a schedule released by his allies. From the airport, Odinga will hold a series of stopover rallies along Jogoo Road all the way to the city centre and eventually the historic Kamukunji grounds, where he will spell out his agenda.
Na mkutano wa kesho ni wa amani, na pia hatua yetu itakuwa ni amani. Hatutakuwa na watu kuleta fujo ama kuleta makelele. Kwa hivyo tungetaka pia police ambao watakuwa na tupatie ulinzi, watupatie ulinzi wa kutosha, kwa sababu hakuna mtu atakuwa na vurugu ama hakuna mtu atakuwa amepanga vurugu.
The 2022 general election rigging claims will inform the next course of action for the opposition, as will be dictated by Odinga in the wake of what Azimio terms as whistleblowers evidence, claiming Odinga won the poll with 8.1 million votes against Ruto's 5.9 million votes.
Tumetautishwa sana na haya revelation ambayo zinatokezea sasa, na hayo mambo tunatarajia kwamba mzee kesho akifika ataifafanua zaidi.
And the rally will be meant to exercise the ghost of impunity at Kamukunji grounds.
Democracy cannot be on auction every 5 years. This is very expensive. It has been very expensive for some of us. There must come a time when we shall say enough is enough.
The 2022 general election rigging claims will inform the next course of action for the opposition, as will be dictated by Odinga in the wake of what Azimio terms as whistleblowers evidence, claiming Odinga won the poll with 8.1 million votes against Ruto's 5.9 million votes.
Parties that are participated in the last election have every right also to do their own audit. And if they find something that's not adding up, it is their right to bring it out so that the public can know. So there is no time limit for auditing an election.
This being the second Kamukunji rally under Ruto's presidency, Odinga will also spell out the opposition agenda on the high cost of living and what the coalition terms as unpopulist Ruto government policies, like tracking M-Pesa transactions for the Kenya Revenue Authority.
Tumepata ushahidi ambayo itaibisha kila mtu.
Political analysts have cited Monday's Kamukunji rally as an acid test for President William Ruto on how he will handle a resurgent opposition that is standing up to the West to go easy on the Ruto regime.
It is going to put William Ruto the same situation Uhuru found himself all that time his deputy was campaigning.
for 5 years. Now William Ruto finds himself an Uhuru timing, that how does he deal with a country that has just moved out of elections and another election campaign has started.
Apul Kamau, TV47.
And Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua seems to be positioning himself as a potential leader of the Mount Kenya region, as evidenced by his recent actions. As a second in command, Gachagua is the most senior leader from the region and has been making moves to unite the region, including holding meetings with former President Uhuru Kenyatta's party. However, it remains to be seen if Gachagua can successfully unite the region and gain support from its leaders and citizens. Our very own Moiga William interrogates.
In a move that suggests a power shift within the political landscape, the second in command in Mount Kenya region is picking up pace to take over the leadership vacuum left by former President Uhuru Kenyatta. This week, Rigathi Gachagua held meeting with leaders from the opposition side, and top of the agenda was unity among political factions in the region. Gachagua, being the most senior leader from the Mount Kenya region and the deputy to the commander-in-chief William Ruto, is making a move to assert himself as a political power player. His recent actions, such as holding a meeting with leaders from the opposition side, suggest that he may be positioning himself as a kingpin in the region's political landscape.
Rais wetu tunakushukuru hapa katika Mount Kenya. We made a conscious decision to support you. Not because you had an arrangement with Uhuru Kenyatta, no. Not because you are college, no, but because you have a pragmatic, clear strategy to revive our economy and put money in our pocket. That is why. And so far, Your Excellency, you have started well.
In a significant challenge to the then perceived regional kingpin Uhuru Kenyatta, the former Mathera Member of Parliament rallied the vote-rich Mount Kenya region in defying President Kenyatta in the August election. The region overwhelmingly voted for President William Ruto, thereby challenging Kenyatta's position as the regional political leader. 10 Mount Kenya counties collectively gave Ruto nearly 3 million votes, while the president's main challenger ODM leader Raila Odinga garnered only 847,709 votes from the region.
Tulitembelea Deputy President katika ofisi yake kuangalia hali ya maendeleo katika Mlima Kenya. Sisi wenyewe ambao wengine nominated, wengine walichaguliwa, haja yetu sana tuone vile watu wetu watakuwa wanafaidika.
We do a SWOT analysis and make sure that in future that no other time where Mount Kenya people will be able to face each other, you know, that there will be one person on this side, the other person on the other side. It should never happen.
Earlier, the second-in-command vowed to unite the Mount Kenya region and to ensure that there are no political divisions between Mount Kenya East and West. This is a clear indication that he plans to take charge of the region's politics, with a section of leaders from the opposing side seemingly in agreement with his moves.
We know that when we hunt as a pack, we are able to get more resources. We are able to benefit more as opposed to when we are divided.
Among his calculated moves to carve a niche for himself as a leader from the region, Gachagua has taken up the task of handling matters close to the hearts of residents of the region. Specifically, Gachagua is focusing on farming, a key industry that majority of the region's residents depend on. He is taking on the task of dealing with cartels in the industry, which has been a long-standing issue for the farmers. This move is seen as a bold step towards addressing the concerns of the residents and positioning himself as a leader who is willing to tackle the region's pressing issues.
Watu walikuwa nakula pesa ya watu ya kahawa, mtafuta kitu kingine ya kukula. Si bonus mumeona nimesukuma iko mzuri. Si ni afadhali na bado.
Tunataka kwanza umoja wa mlima. Pili, maendeleo katika mlima.
Already, a number of leaders drawn from the Mount Kenya region have expressed confidence that Rigathi Gachagua is better placed to be the region's leader. Moige William, TV47.
And from the mountain to the classrooms, after a 2-month break, primary and secondary school learners in Kenya returned to school on Monday for the first time of the new school calendar, which has been reverted to the normal calendar of 3 terms in a year. And the government has assured that it has already released capitation funds to schools, and the Teacher Service Commission is finalizing the recruitment of teachers who will begin performing their duties this month. Here's a senior education reporter, Sharon Baranga, with the update.
It is back to school. As the new academic calendar officially begins on Monday, putting an end to a long break of close to 2 months. The school calendar is back to 3 terms in a year. The last 2 years, the calendar was disrupted when the first case of COVID-19 was reported in the country in March of 2020.
On this, I wish to thank all stakeholders, including teachers and parents, who battled all the bottlenecks that were laid on our academic roads by the COVID-19. Thanks to God the Almighty, we have successfully regained our school terms. Undoubtedly, this recovery puts our education sector on a comfortable gradient upon which to deliver on the many reforms lined up.
As is the norm at the beginning of the school calendar, all the learners in basic education will be moving to a class ahead.
Necessary resources that is supposed to be released by government is ready and will be with the schools in terms of capitation. And on Monday, the continuing students will be opening. On 30th, we shall have our junior secondary. On 8th, we shall have our Form 1s going to school.
Textbooks and hard copies of the grade 7 curriculum designs will be made available for all schools. That one, we are making sure that all the required textbooks will be delivered the first week as the schools open on 30th.
This year also marks the end of the 844 curriculum in primary school, as the current Class 8 pupils will be the last class of the over 30-year-old curriculum.
That grade 7 runners will report their respective schools on January 30th, 2023. Additionally, I also announced that the government will spend 9.6 billion on capitation grants to runners of junior secondary school for term 1 and term 2 of 2023, with each of them receiving an individual capitation of 15,000 per year.
Learners who will not have their details captured in the NEMIS system risk not receiving capitation funds from the government, and the head teachers have been urged to ensure that all learners are registered under NEMIS.
In the next financial year, the government will spend 18 billion for the junior secondary school runners capitation grants. Further to this, I now wish to state that of the 15,000 that will be released for each runner, 4,000 will be spent on the development of infrastructure, with the greatest priority being on reparatories.
The Teachers Service Commission has been working behind the scenes in recruitment of the largest number of teachers in a while. The teachers will be reporting to their workstations this month in readiness of the start of the school calendar.
All the teachers who will be recruited in the ongoing exercise, they will be put on a retooling regime that will ensure they adequately attend to our junior secondary school learners. Already, we have trained 2,376 master trainers ahead of the retooling exercise of all the new teachers and others currently teaching in secondary schools. We target to train 90,000 teachers between now and April 2023.
First term will last for 13 weeks, with a closing date slated for 21st April 2023.
I hope you accept as per the order exam.
Sharon Baranga, TV 47.
All right, thank you for that, Sharon Baranga. I'm pretty sure the young boys and girls have like 2 months worth of stories to tell each other tomorrow once they report. And still on matters education, West Pokot County Senator Julius Murgor has asked the Cabinet Secretary for Education Ezekiel Machogu to revive the West Pokot Kisii University campus that is said to have collapsed during the previous government's tenure. Speaking at Tartar Girls National School in Kapenguria, Murgor said that the only way to reduce internal conflict and insecurity cases in the county is through education, and reviving the university campus will play a crucial role in ensuring Pokot young men and women are educated to become men and women of substance in the society.
Bwana Waziri, sisi hatuna university. Sehemu zingine nyingi wamekuwa na ma-university. Tulipatiwa kamoja ambayo mizizi yake ilienda mpaka Kisii. wewe sasa utaenda Kisii utuulizie hii ndama ambayo ilienda Pokot na ikapotea iliendaje, ili uturudishie tuwe na hiyo university. Tuna shamba, tuna mijengo ilijengwa na serikali ya county, na kwa hivyo tunaomba ofisi yako itusaidie tupate university katika West Pokot ili watoto wetu waendelee kusoma vile wengine wamesoma.
Now, Abwao Boys Secondary School in Migori County managed to post exemplary results in the just-released KCSE despite having infrastructural challenges. Now, the school principal, Jackton Ogola, says the school had registered 133 students, out of which 132 have attained the minimum university entry grade of C+ and above. The school greatly improved with a mean score of 9.0178 compared to 2021 when they had a mean score of 7.5. The school, however, lacks a modern laboratory, library, dining hall, and it has a shortage of clean water. The principal attributed the success of his students to discipline.
Also partaking in it. I'm happy. I'm very much happy for what God has done to us. Let me take this time to thank my God for this wonderful performance, and let me thank the school, the St. Peter's Abwao Fraternity, starting with the principal, the school principal. I like this man so much because he's a tough man when it comes to academics. He doesn't take things aside. Let me take this opportunity to thank all the teachers, the St. Peter's Abwao teachers.
Nikumshukuru Mungu kwa sababu ya umbali ambao ametuleta. Kwanza kabisa nimshukuru head teacher wa hii shule, principal Abwao. Ukweli mwalimu, hongereni kwa kazi nzuri ambayo mmeifanya pamoja na staff yako. Pia ninawashukuru wazazi kwa kazi nzuri ambayo tulishikana mkono tukaombea watoto wetu. Wameweza kutuondolea aibu. Tunamshukuru Mungu sana tena sana, azidi kuwatangulia hata kwa vyuo ambavyo wataenda.
With this very good performance, we still have a number of challenges, including infrastructural and ideally parents not being able to pay school fee and absenteeism. And therefore, we appeal to all of us to get together and find a way of really resolving some of these challenges that we do have. But otherwise, I really got to appreciate God that we have maintained performance, excellent performance for the last 4 years, which is very exceptional.
Here we are today celebrating the result of St. Peter's Abwao at a mean of 9.07. The target was 8.1, and we have set this target for the last 2 years. But today, as a school, we are happy that we have managed to go beyond the target. What has brought this is so simple: teamwork.
The National Government Constituencies Development Fund, that is NGCDF, is expected to be a major talking point during the week-long induction for members of the various House committees of the National Assembly, which is set to kick off on Monday. The legislators will be trained on their roles and responsibilities in the respective committees, and the use of the NGCDF is expected to be a key topic of discussion. It is all systems go for a week-long induction session for members of various House committees in the National Assembly in Mombasa County.
The business of the National Assembly is resume any minute. The members
on their roles in their respective committees and also the relationship between Parliament and the key stakeholders.
Swetangula are in the chamber this
after the approval of the disbursement of the national government constituencies development. The members are set to begin a rigorous process of ensuring that the future of the fund is successful.
Other delays. these questions.
Other areas to be widely discussed include the place of committees in the National Assembly and the effectiveness, summary of the performance report of the committees of the 12th Parliament, conduct of committee business in the House, budget policy statement, budget estimates and budget implementation review by committees, and the nexus between the Budget and Appropriations Committee and Audit Committees.
Secretary for Energy and Matters Petroleum.
According to the Clerk of the National Assembly, Samuel Njoroge, the induction workshop will also comprise of breakout sessions for respective audit, appropriations and other select committees on Tuesday and Wednesday, while each of the departmental committees will have breakout sessions on Thursday and Friday. Elsewhere, concerns have been raised over a potential crisis in Islamic leadership in Kenya following the launch of the Fatwa Council of Kenya by a group of Muslim scholars. The council, which aims to provide leadership, guidance and direction to Muslims, is seen as a rival to the existing Supreme Council of Kenya Muslims, that is SUPKEM. The launch of the Fatwa Council has sparked fears of a division among the Muslim community and a potential power struggle between the two councils over who has the authority to provide guidance and direction to Muslims in the country. Collins Lusoti with that story.
A group of Muslims in Kenya have launched the Fatwa Council of Kenya, a body that will comprise of scholars and senior religious leaders who will offer guidance and direction on crucial and important matters affecting the lives of Muslims in the country.
Ndio maana jopo hili lina zinduliwa leo kwa mjumuiko wa mashehe wanaoaminika ili kuweza kuangalia zile text kihakika na yale ambayo kwamba wanayadai wengi katika yale wanaoyatoa kwa maana ya fatwa. Fatwa ni jambo linapomshinda mtu anakwenda kwa mashehe. Kwa hivyo kila mmoja anazungumza bila elimu. Kwa hivyo wamekutana wasomi visasa kuweza kujaribu kutatua lile tatizo la kuwazuia wengine wasostaki kuzungumza.
Among the first assignments for the Fatwa Council of Kenya will be to deliberate and provide guidance on whether Muslims should join the National Health Insurance Fund NHIF and whether the Muslim youth can subscribe to the Hustler Fund offered by the Kenya Kwanza government. The council says that for a long time the Muslim community has lacked guidance on such critical issues.
Mpaka leo hatujapata mwongozo kamili kama Waislamu waingie NHIF ama wasiingie. Na nafikiri hii itakuwa ni jukumu moja la Fatwa Council kutoa huo mwongozo.
When asked whether the Fatwa Council of Kenya will duplicate the roles performed by the Supreme Council of Kenya Muslims, SUPKEM, the group insists that the council will only provide guidance and advice on critical matters and leave the decision to individual Muslims.
Mimi naamini hili jopo halikuja kucompete ama kushindana na mtu yoyote. Uongozi popote hata katika serikali ni kuchangia. Watu huchangia, uongozi ndio watu wote wapate maendeleo.
Politicians allied to the Azimio la Umoja coalition have welcomed the launch of the Fatwa Council of Kenya, saying it will offer proper guidance and genuine leadership to the Muslim community. They argue that the council will provide a voice for the Muslim community on important religious and cultural matters and will help to promote unity and understanding within the community.
This is one organization that will speak for the Muslims on very important and crucial issues. This is one voice that is going to be heard in this country, that is going to give directions on important issues that matter within the Muslim society in this country and in the region also.
I can understand it this way, he can understand it that way. That's why we need a council of scholars to guide us. This is a guidance council.
Collins Lusweti, TV 47, Nairobi.
And to County 001, Mombasa Governor Abdul Somad Sharif Nasir's recent appointment to his cabinet have sparked mixed reactions among residents. However, the Omogusi Council of Elders in Mombasa have recently come out in support of the appointments. They have praised Governor Nasir for including 2 members of the community in his cabinet, which they said was a first for them since Kenya's independence, led by the Secretary John Gishana Obonyo. The elders thanked the governor for recognizing the community and giving them representation in his cabinet. Nasir appointed Evans Owanda as a county executive committee member for finance and Yukabeth Agesare Nyabando as advisor to the governor on cohesion and integration.
Do not deny for 10 years. I won't even over.
Gavana, tumeona matunda yako, tunaanza kuona usafi kila pahali na tunajua utapata mambo mengi na utafanyia community zote kulingana na vile wewe mwenyewe utawezewa. From the history of your father, I know you are a performance person. Hii ingine, tunashukuru Mungu ametupatia vyeo viwili kubwa. Uyugesale na Wanda. Mungu akubariki. Mungu abariki serikali kubwa na taifa lote, na Kenya iwe recognized among other best performing countries in the world.
Kuna wengine wamekimbia kotini kusema huyu ameweka Wajaluo wengi, na ndio wamekimbia kotini kusuia hii. Mambo yatakapofafanuliwa, huyo Wanda ni Mkisii, lakini wale wenzetu wameenda pale wakisema huyu ni Mjaluo, na kwa nini ameajiri Wajaluo wengi namna hiyo. Kwa hiyo waelewe kabisa kuwa huyu ametoka jamii nyingine kabisa, na pia hata anastahili kuwa na kupata hiyo nafasi.
As far as we are concerned, the appointments were well researched and reflected the cosmopolitan nature of the county of Mombasa. As you may all know, Mombasa is not like any other county in Kenya. It is the only county that is cosmopolitan and is house to all races and ethnicities in the world who are residents and even have children and grandchildren born and raised in this county.
Wale wenzetu ambao wameenda kotini kwa weni wa Kenya, wenzetu kama sisi, waangalie vitambulisho vya watu, waelewe kwamba huyu ni nani. Na mradi mtu ni Mkenya, amesaliwa hapa Kenya, waje tuwapatie nafasi atuhudumie kama watu wa Mombasa, kwa sababu Mombasa hii tunaona mtu atakayeokoa watu wa Mombasa ni gavana wa pili. Yule alikuweko alifanya yake, na huyu ameingia ameinherit shida nyingi.
30 minutes past the top of the hour. You're definitely watching TV47 Weekend. Let's take a short break, shall we? But we'll be right back, don't worry.
Usiyakubalie maumivu ya misuli kukatiza ratiba yako. Kaluma Pain Balm ni dawa ya kusugua iliyotengenezwa kutoka kwa miche maalum ili kutuliza maumivu ya misuli. Kaluma Pain Balm. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
Usienda nayo huko ndani, unaacha hapo kwa lake ndio uingie.
Ni wacho kwa lake namna gani nataka kutumia huko ndani? Nimekuja na hii gani ndio inatumika? Hii paketi ama hii kuchota? Kwani serious hii? Bwana wacheni mchezo bwana. Nini?
Karibu customer. Hizi bidhaa unaziacha pale kwenye lage ndipo ufanye shopping kwa supermarket yetu. Kuchota ni kufanya shopping pekee.
Ni kufanya shopping.
Na Hetia Supermarket ndio best. Kwa mara nyingine tena, Hetia Supermarket inakuletea chota kuchota na Hetia Supermarket. Ushiriki shindano la chota tuwe karibu nawe Kitale, Bungoma, Eldoret, Kakamega, Kisumu, Busia, Naivasha, Limuru, Nairobi, Thika, Nyeri, Meru, Chuka na Maua. Nunua bidhaa ya shilingi 600 na zaidi na utapewa raffle ticket. Jaza vizuri na utumbukize kwa sanduku iliyo mlangoni. Utakuwa umeingia kwa draw ya kujishindia zawadi Dahatsu Mira, pikipiki 21 aina ya TVS, 1130 school fees, TVS, shopping vouchers na vingine vingi.
Bas, ni huku. Saidia bibi.
Chota kuchota imethaminiwa na Uwe Bacon, Savannah Juice Fruit Vial, My Choice Hand Wash, Zesta Choco Primo, Ketepa, Blue Band, Aramco, Oven Fresh Bread, Nivea, Silent Night Mattresses, Coca-Cola pamoja na Hisense. Shindano hili limeidhinishwa na BCLB permit number 002816. Sheria na masharti kutumika.
Chota kuchota na Hetia Supermarket, na hii motokaa gari smart kabisa inaweza kuwa yako. Unangoja nini? Ingia, fanya shopping yako Hetia Supermarket, uchoto kuchote na hii kari. Hii motokaa inaweza kuwa yako. Mtu anaweza pesa kwa booth.
Hetia Supermarket, a world of choice.
Tryson School of Medical Health Science and Technology is a premier training institute for market-driven courses. With state-of-the-art facilities, competent and dedicated members of staff, and linkages with the medical industry, you are assured of a bright future when you study with us. Enroll today in our campuses at Juja, Nairobi West, Kisumu, and Homa Bay.
Are you looking for a distinguished institution of academic and professional excellence to kickstart your career? Then join KIPS Technical College, a top-NEC, CASNEB and NEET examination center in Kenya that is fully accredited by TVET Authority with over 90% national exam pass rate. We offer high-quality, hands-on training in engineering, hospitality, tourism, journalism, ICT, business, accounting, hairdressing and beauty, health sciences, community development and foreign language, and have placed over 26,000 graduates since 1994. Our state-of-the-art equipment, well-equipped workshops, indoor and outdoor sports facilities make us the preferred choice.
During my training, I was able to become Miss KIPS, which has helped me to achieve my goals in community development.
Admissions for January 2023 intake is ongoing. For more information, call 0720-813-113 or visit any of our 6 campuses located within Nairobi. KIPS Technical College, your sure path to success.
Imagine starting your academic journey here at the foot of Mount Kenya. A place where you can call home. A place where we celebrate our diversity and uniqueness. A place where you can be at your best, at work and at play. That place is Embu College. There's no better place to make the difference than Embu College. Karibu Embu College, where a holistic education matters.
Welcome back. This is TV47 Weekend. Police officers in Kacheliba sub-county in West Pokot, together with the area chief, have rescued a 15-year-old standard-8 girl in Kisaka village from being married off to one Merku Lilikol by her parents. The 15-year-old girl was forced to escape from home to find refuge with the area chief upon realizing that the plans for her to be married off were at the top gear. The Kacheliba OCS Tom Nyenaro has issued a stern warning to anyone who will be found to be a possible culprit of the vice, saying that the parents of the girl will face the full force of the law.
Our journey of about 60 kilometers from Kapenguria town here in West Pokot County to Kacheliba police station took us about an hour before arriving here to witness efforts to save a 15-year-old girl who was on the verge of getting married off to one Merkou Lilikol from Kasaka village. Mary, which is not her real name, narrates to us how she escaped immediately. She realized that her father was about to receive a bride price, which could see her leave the home and abandon her dreams in order to become the wife of Merkou Lilikol, an old man in the area.
Hawakukuja na hivi, walikuja tu na watu, nikaona tu hawakuwa wananijelea, nikakimbia.
Mary, who had just completed her KCPE exams, scored 261 marks and received an invitation later to join St. Catherine Chepnyal Girls in Sook Ward, but her parents did not see any value in this and instead decided to marry her off.
Ni visa vingi eneo hivi vimetokea, hasa wakati huu wa likizo. Tulikuwa vile ninaongea hivi saisi, tangu tuende likizo watoto wakuje nyumbani kuanzia mwezi wa 11 mpaka wakati huu, wale watu ambao tumepeleka kotini kwa kupeana watoto wadogo ni cases ambayo ni 7. ambazo siko mahakamani saa hii, wale watoto ambao tumeweza kuokoa kutoka ndoa za mapema vile wako 11, na wale ambao tumestaki kwa kuapasa wasichana tohara mpaka saa hii kuanzia Novemba, Disemba, na saa hii ni watu 4.
Kacheliba Police Station OCS Tom Nyanaro disclosed to us that the area is widely known for such cases, urging journalists to support him in fighting the vice and changing the lives of young girls at risk, as well as the wider society living in West Pokot County.
Ombi langu ni kwa viongozi wa eneo hili ya kwamba waweze kuungana nasi katika kupigana vita ya dhuluma dhidi ya kina mama. Hasa mtoto msichana pamoja na mama hawana sauti kabisa. Kwa hivyo kama kila kitu unakuta ile kitu ambaye mama anafanya ama msichana inafanywa kwa minajili ya kufurahisha mwanaume.
The case is expected to be taken to court on Monday, with the area OCS promising to take stern action on anyone who will be found pushing the agenda of early marriages and FGM in the area.
Watu wa kuharibu watoto. Sababu kutoa mtoto shuleni, kwanza kuweka mtoto shuleni ni kazi ngumu kwetu sisi hapa. Msichana. Na yule ambaye ameingia katika shule, hatutaki aondolewe pale mpaka pale ambapo atafikia umri wa kutosha kuolewa. Lakini hao watu wanachukua watoto katika primary school na hawajafikisha hiyo miaka. Na hivyo tena administration waanze hiyo jambo la kutafuta hao watu ambao kazi yao ni kuharibu watoto. Unaona mtoto ako katika secondary school hata form 2 unasikia mtu amemhepesha, amempeleka. Na mambo kama hayo inatupunguzia idadi ya wasichana ambao tungetaka waongezeke katika shule.
Well, thank you for that. That particular story was produced by Andrew Juma and voiced by Sylvia Nyongesa. At the top and main feature per se, this particular evening, professionals argue that exporting manpower to foreign lands could soon be the basic solution to the high rates of unemployment in Kenya among millions of graduates who suffer the consequences in a state that has a slow employment growth and one that is unable to absorb them in the market. Local institutions are adapting to a new focus of training that prepares their trainees to meet international standards of manpower.
Close to 1 million young people graduate from local institutions each year with aspirations of finding employment in their desired fields. However, a bleak reality awaits as the majority of these graduates will be added to the growing unemployment line in a country experiencing rapid development but slow employment growth. A report from the International Labour Organization, an organization committed to promoting social and economic justice through setting international labour standards, reveals that the unemployment rate in Kenya continues to rise slightly at 5.7% in 2020 and 2021.
Job is limited to certain people, certain individuals, or those people who have something. For those who don't have, they end up looking for job after finishing their schools, after they have done with their courses. The job that is remaining is to look for another job instead of achieving what they have been dreaming to do.
However, there is hope on the horizon as the final reports for 2022 are expected to show a decrease in unemployment thanks to the efforts of the government to regain the jobs lost during the COVID-19 pandemic. Kenya is facing a major challenge as it is described as an economy that is unable to absorb all the graduates due to its faster adoption of technology, which further points to a growing dependency burden among the youth, poverty, debt and crime among other consequences that would worsen in the worst cases.
When it comes to job marketing, especially in our country, I can say it depends with your connection or maybe your circle, who you socialize with, when you go for attachments, how do you practice your work like that.
To change this, various private institutions have adopted a new focus of training to meet the standards of overseas manpower and employment for their trainees.
We need to export manpower for sure, because there are people, as you have rightly said, who are health workers and they are tarmacking. And like initially when people will finish medical courses, they will automatically be employed. But now you have to look for employment yourself, including medical doctors, including nurses, nobody has a kind of direct employment anymore.
To gain a deeper understanding of this issue, I recently visited the North Coast Medical Training College in Mtwapa, Kilifi County. This institution adopted a competency-based curriculum in its early years and has unique teaching techniques that prioritize practical training and guide students on how to conduct their own research.
A competency-based curriculum is a curriculum whereby we're emphasizing about 3 pillars. And one, we're talking about that the student must be given the knowledge. So we're talking about the knowledge as part of the CBC. We're talking about the right attitude for them to be able to work and be able to appreciate the course that they are doing, and also be able to have the necessary skills.
So in our case here, unakuwa tu guided. Soma hapa, soma hapa, soma hapa. Notes and everything in wewe mwenyewe unatafuta. So hiyo inatusaidia unakuwa na more content than ile notes ya mwalimu anakupea umetosheka na hiyo. So hii unatafuta zaidi. Sababu pia ukisema hautasoma, mtihani utakuja zile vitu zenye hukusoma. So inabidi una go deeper zaidi.
Health education in Kenya is facing a major challenge as it is often hindered by the lack of integration of emerging technologies.
But with us, or as a government, they need to curb this challenge by introducing measures such as the Skills Lab with innovations and mannequins that can enable students to practice, to make many mistakes as they can, so that these students, when they meet these patients, these real patients, they are not doing trial and error. They are producing quality healthcare services.
This is critical for the development and health education and to ensure that the graduates are better equipped to meet the demands of the job market.
The area of our schools is a little bit of more of skills. So at the end, people, they want to know your skill ability, not the theory part of it.
The challenge has been, number one, is to get the right teacher to teach them the new way of teaching that we are trying to propagate. But luckily is that with the time we have devised ways of engaging them, not only employing them, but also taking them through training.
Experts agree that Kenya must take urgent action to address the welfare of thousands of health workers who frequently report unpaid salaries and exploitative working conditions in order to avoid a crisis in the future over a lack of manpower in the health sector.
Right now, as a country, I can say we are reaching saturation level, and because if it is a public hospital, the public sector to absorbing the students, of course, is limited by the budget. You cannot employ people you cannot pay. When it comes to the private sector, I think we are also coming. There are many quite private institutions that are training now, besides the public ones only. And in that case, we can say we are no longer in that same situation. Right now, what we need to do is that we need to export manpower for sure, because there are people, as you have rightly said, who are health workers and they are tarmacking. And like initially when people will finish medical courses, they will automatically be employed.
In addition to addressing the welfare of health workers, professionals also advise institutions to advance and embrace the latest technologies in the healthcare sector